God. Ask God.
Hey Scott, my name's Nick. I'm from Miami. I just want to say thank you for your podcast. This is the first time I've ever heard something that gave me enough confidence to feel like I know what to do and actually go forward with it. But I had a question that I haven't heard answered yet. I'm on podcast 44. I've been launched for about 2 weeks. I took your suggestions to the T. Basically, I launched a promotion and I got some reviews. I started running PPC. After about a few days of being launched, I got my first 3 sales. But ever since then, my sales have just been very slow. Maybe one every other day. I just did another promotion. My top competitor has 4,000 reviews. Under him, anywhere from 50 to 500. Now, what is a slow start? What do most people start with? Is this normal to be getting just a few sales a week? What should I be looking at? I am running PPC. Any key factors I might have missed, I would really love if you can shed some light on those. Thank you.
Hey, Nick from Miami. Thank you so much for the question. And that's a kind of a tough question because it's kind of hard to see all of the components and the moving parts. But let me just kind of give you my first take on this. My first take is this. You're submitting this question in the summer. So in the summertime, normally e-commerce, Amazon, any eBay, any of those sites, or just online traffic in general is generally down. And that's just the way it's been for years. If you do any Google trending, you can kind of see that. So that's the first thought is traffic is definitely down right now, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't have any sales. Now, you did everything right, like you said, and you kind of came out of the gate like really going strong. And then all of a sudden you kind of dwindled to where you're only doing like 1 sale every other day. Okay. But hey, at least you're making a sale every other day. That's something. You said you're doing some pay-per-click. And again, like I said, I can't look at all of your data because I don't have it in front of me. But, I would be looking at the Amazon pay-per-click and I would be looking at the impressions, making sure that I'm getting the impressions. If I'm not getting the impressions, then I have to look at, my bids, my cost per bids. Am I bidding enough? Is that why I'm not getting the right amount of traffic? Or am I getting the traffic, but I'm not getting any clicks? Or if I'm getting the clicks and I'm not getting any sales, is it because I don't have enough reviews? So that leads me to my next thing. I'm thinking to myself, you just said that, your competitor has like 4,000 reviews and the other ones have 500 and so on. Well, I would ask 2 questions. Number 1, how deep is your market? So normally when you were researching this in the beginning, did you notice that after the first, competitor, did you see that, after that the sales were still pretty good? Like, were they at least 10 sales a day, maybe 8 or 9 deep? Or was it just the top 3? Because that makes a huge difference. Because if you don't have the depth in the market, especially when the market starts to get slow, a lot of people are going to go to the number 1 because there's not as much traffic. So they're going to all kind of like be kind of like seeing that one that has 4,000 reviews. And that's like my one thought here is like, man, to go up against someone with 4,000 reviews is kind of, is brave. But in the same breath, if you had depth in the market and your competitor that has maybe 300 reviews is still getting 10 or 15 sales a day, well, then that to me is a good sign that if you just get a few more reviews, you'll probably be able to compete with that particular seller. So those are kind of like my initial thoughts. I know I can't give you like a direct answer, like fix this, fix that, but those are the first things that I would look at and that I started questioning as I was listening to your question, because having reviews are important, but they're more important when you're going up against someone that has thousands of reviews or even hundreds of reviews and you only have like 10 or 15 or 20. So that's what I would work on. It's probably more of a conversion thing more than it is, do you have a good product? And so when people look at your listing and they see someone has 4,000 reviews and someone has 25 reviews, most people are going to probably take the one that has the higher review count because it's social proof that people have purchased it, and for the most part, they're happy with it. So I would look at pay-per-click. I would see if you're getting the impressions still for the traffic. If you're not, I would try to expand that out. I would try to broaden my keyword reach. I would test and play around with that stuff until I seen that I was at least getting some traffic. And then if I wasn't getting the clicks, then I would have to look at my image. I would have to look at my title. I would look at my, my bullets. I would look at all of that stuff to see why I'm not getting clicks. Well, the clicks actually would be more of title and image. And then after they went in, I would look at the conversion aspects of it as far as like, why aren't they buying? Well, is it my reviews? Is it my title? Is it, my benefits? Is it my description? All of those things. So then I would start looking at those, all of those elements. So I hope this has helped. I hope this has helped anyone else in this, position. Don't give up. Don't sit there and think that you don't have a product that's going to sell. You just might have to really massage it a little bit and kind of figure out what it's going to take to get you to 10 sales a day to kind of get the ball rolling. I don't necessarily think the answer is to keep doing blast after blast unless you're trying to get your review count up so you can kind of compete with the one that's taken all the sales. And in that case, like I said, that's a really tough place to be, because that person is probably going to take a majority of the sales regardless, unless you have depth in the market. The other thing to remember is, summer is almost over. Once, September hits and October, that's when sales will start to really pick up, and we all should start seeing more traffic. And then that will also even just give you more data, because your pay-per-click will probably even go up as far as like how many impressions you're seeing, because the traffic will be there. So I hope this helps. I hope this makes sense. Good luck to you. Keep me posted, and hopefully we can do a follow-up and see what you've done and how it's either improved it or how it hasn't done anything. I mean, I hope it's going to improve it. So keep me posted. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this, and that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop, and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com, and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session, and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there, and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business, and this way here you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.